An archer hits his target 40% of the time. If he shoots 8 arrows, what is the probability of each of the following events? We're going to round our answers to 6 decimal places. The first event is that he never hits the target. So in this case, we'll have 0 successes, but we're going to have 8 trials. So n is 8. Our p, which is the probability that a shot hits the target, is 0.4, and our q, which is the probability that it does not hit the target, is 1 minus 0.4, or 0.6. So in part A, we're going to have that the probability of 3 out of 8, I'll say hits, will be the number of combinations of the 8 shots or trials where we choose 0 as success, 0 for success. So 0.4 to the 0 and 0.6 to the 8. Now, the number of combinations of 8 things taken 0 at a time is 1. The number of combinations, or 0.4 to the 0 is also 1. So our answer is just 0.6 to the 8th power. So if we pull up the calculator, we'll have 0.6 raised to the 8th power, which is 0.016796. So 0.016796. In the second case, hits the target. It's the probability that 8 out of 8 hit the target. So our R is now 8, and we'll have the number of ways, C, of getting 8 out of 8, and we know C88 is just 1, times 0.4 to the 8th times 0.6 to the 8 minus 8, which is 0.6 to the 0. 0.6 to the 0 is also 1, so it's 0.4 to the 8th power and we get 6.55 times 10 to the minus 4. So 6.55 times 10 to the negative 4 means move the decimal place 4 places to the left. So we have 0.000655. Now the probability of hitting the target more than once is so at least more than once. So more than 1 hit out of 8. We could say the probability of 2 hits plus 3 hits plus 4 hits plus 5 hits and compute all of those and then add them up, but it would be much easier to say that is 1 minus the probability of 0 hits plus the probability of 1 hit. And we already have done the probability for 0 hits. So it would be equal to 1 minus 0.016796 plus C8 1.4 to the 1.6 to the 7. And in this case, we know that the number of combinations of 8 things taken one at a time is going to be 8. 0.4 to the 1 power is just 0.4 times 0.6 to the 7th. So we're going to have 8 times 0.4 times 0.6 to the 7th power, which is 0.0, and that is our second part of the sum. And so to that, I'm going to add, so I just hit add and it brings up this previous answer. I'm going to add the 0.016796. That's going to give us the number that we subtract from 1. So 1 minus, I'm going to clear that, and I'm going to go 1 minus second answer, enter. And I get 0.893624. 0.893624. Now, technically, we should have actually recomputed the probability of 0 hits to avoid rounding error. And so if there's rounding error here, we'll have to pick up and recompute the probability of 0 hits so that the calculator is holding more than 6 decimal places for that. The last part of this question is the probability that he hits at least 6 times. So the probability of at least 6 hits out of 8 would equal the probability of 6 plus the probability of 7 plus the probability of 8. So it would be C, and now it's our R this time is 6, so 8, 6 times 0.4 to the 6 times 0.6 to the 8 minus 6, which is 2. plus the number of combinations of 8 things taken 7 at a time, times 0.4 to the 7 times 0.6 to the 1 plus C 8 times 0.4 to the 8 times 0.6 to the 0. We know C 8 is 1. We know 0.6 to the 0 is 1. We know that C 7 is actually 8. And we'll just let the calculator compute the C of 6. So let's come to the calculator and let's do 8 math, right, 3, 6 times 0.4 to the 6 times 0.6 squared. Forgot the exponent there. Squared. Plus 8 times 0.4 to the 7 times 0.6 plus 1 times 0.4 to the 8th times 1, so we don't need to enter that. Oh, and there's something I missed there. So let's go use 2 to see if we can find the arrow. And I've got a plus there, so I did the first one. And then right here, I needed 0.4 times 0.6. And this was supposed to be, I'm supposed to have, and I'm going to go second insert. And right here, I'm going to enter the 1. No, the 8. And then times. Eight times 0.4 to the power 7th times 0.6. And hit enter. So this time I get 0.049807. 0.049807 to 4 decimal positions. So this part is the probability of 6 hits. This is 7 hits. This is 8 hits. And when we add them together, that's the probability of at least 6 hits. That means 6 or more.